it's Emily from Handmade with Love. I hope that you are all having a wonderful day. I am about to make a little banner for some mail that I have going out. It's going to be kind of birthday themed, so I just have a few things out already. I just picked out a paper for the banner, and if you guys didn't see my last video, I did do a dollar store upcycle where I turned this $3 banner from the Target dollar spot into a 5-piece banner that or 6-piece banner that says create. So I'm going to link that down in the description box, but I think overall the package of banners comes with like 25 pieces, and they're all just plain pink like this, and then there is a string that goes with them. So all I did was just take this one off the string, and I'm just going to make a standalone banner for this one. I'm going to try to layer it up and make it look cute and match the mail that's going out. So yeah, I just figured we could go ahead and get started. I'm just going to trace this on the back of this paper. Now I did have this scrap left over from the collection, so I think I'm just going to do 2 layers. And I do want to apologize, my cat gave birth recently if you've seen any of my last videos, so the little tiny meows that you hear in the background are just her tiny little fluffy kitty babies. So sorry about that if that's distracting throughout the video, but I don't want to move them because I think that might upset her, and I just want to be respectful of that. So but yeah, so if you hear that, that's what it is. But like I said, I'm just going to trace this on this paper, and then I have this scrap paper left from the paper as well, so I'm just going to find some sort of way to incorporate this so I can use it up. I think I'm going to use both of the papers. So yeah, let me grab a pencil really quick and then just trace out the shape. Alright, so I'm just going to hold this down on all of the sides and then trace the shape. Alright, it's definitely not perfect, but it won't matter just because we are going to cut this a little bit smaller, so that way the color of the banner will show through just a little bit. But to start off, let's cut the general size. Alright, so this is the front piece, and as you can see, it covers up the entire banner. Now, if you like that look, then you can definitely leave it like that. That's going to be the easier way to do this, but I'm just going to trim it down a little bit on the sides and on the top. So I guess I'll just start with the top, and I am going to use my paper cutter for this so that we can get a straight line. But I'm just going to push it through here and cut off a small piece, just so that way you can already see a little bit of the pink will show through. And now we're gonna do like the same thing on the sides, and I prefer to use scissors for this just so that way I can get more of a rounded shape that matches the actual shape of the banner. And I just do both sides. So that looks good. I'm just gonna cut a little bit more from the side here just because I'm noticing it's a little bit uneven. Alright, and that looks good. So there's nothing poking out like super sharp edges or anything like that. I think we are good. So now I'm just going to I think I want to do this one like on the bottom half. So all I'm going to do is just trace this shape on the bottom paper and then cut it out. And then once I line these up, I can trim it again if I notice that this piece is uneven compared to the other one, but I'm just going to cut it out based on the pencil drawing right now. Alright, and then I'm also going to just tear the top of this just because I really like the way that that looks. I think it's cute. Okay. So that's what it's looking like. Now I'm just going to add some tape on here. and line it up the best that I can. I think I'm going to line it up on the sides so that way I can make sure that that line is straight. Okay, and then like I said, now you can cut any of the excess paper just so that way it's even, doesn't look strange. So that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, it's gonna be hard to get the shape perfect, but once you start adding things on top, it's not gonna matter so much. So that's what we have so far. And pull it down just a little bit. And yeah, it looks pretty good so far. I'm just going to go off camera really quick and I'm gonna do some like messy stitching around the actual banner piece. And then before we glue it down, we're going to make the little top piece so that way it has something to hang by. So I will be right back to show you how to do that. So I am back with that piece and this is what it looks like. Just like I said, some really messy stitching. I was trying to make it look like that on purpose just because I think it's kind of cute. So that's what we have so far, and now we're going to work on the actual piece that the banner is going to hang off of. So for this I just use I'm just going to use some paper straws. I didn't have a color that really looked good with this collection, so I'm just going for green because there is some green, although it's not the same color, it does sort of match. So before we glue this down, we're going to work on this, and this is a string that came with the actual banner. So I'm just going to add some hot glue and then loop it around just a few times like that. And I've never done this before, so I'm not sure if there's like a specific way to do this, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue, put the piece of string on there, and then tie the string through the little hole in the banner. So hopefully that will work and help it stay secure, so that way she can hang it up like using this instead of using string, which I guess they honestly both work. So if you don't have any paper straws, you could definitely just use some string or some trim, like whatever you have. But yeah, I'm just gonna give this a try. So I just blew on the hot glue to kind of spread it out a little bit just because it was in like a big glob. Alright, and you want to be really careful because it's going to be hot, but I'm just going to gently wrap this around and try to get each piece into where the hot glue is. And now it's not going to be so hot because it's got string on it. It's also just had a second to dry, so I'm just pushing on that to make sure that the string is wrapped around it. So hopefully, I know it's not super zoomed in, but hopefully you could see what I was doing there, and it's nothing that is really difficult. We're just literally gluing on some string, wrapping it around. And now I'm just going to push this string that is attached to the straw through the little hole in the banner. Just like that. It's kind of coming undone a little bit. So that's what it's going to look like. I'm just going to tie a hole in the back to secure it. So I'm going to cut all of the excess off. Tie a little knot here. And make sure you have it the distance that you want it away from the straw. So I did leave a good amount of room there, just like that. And I think I'm just going to double knot this so that way it doesn't fall through the hole at all. And you could easily do this once you have the paper on, but I didn't want to have to hole punch the paper, so I am just going to be putting it on top of the string, and we're not going to put any glue on the top of the banner, kind of like I did in that last video. If you saw it, I just left part of it not glued. So I did add just a little bit more glue on there. It's not super hot or anything, so I'm just doing the same thing that I did last time, just kind of pushing it down. And this will probably take a little while before you can get it right. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I'm just trying to play around with the structure of it. But now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and I think that I'm just going to fast forward through this part so that way you guys can watch if you want to or skip through it. Alright, so we are done with the little hanging piece, and one thing that I messed up on that I wish I would have thought about, so I rolled on this side, I rolled it like forward and then looped it through, but on this side I looped it through and then pulled the string through, so technically I should have done this piece over instead of under because it caused these to be on like kind of different lengths, but in the end it's still actually pretty even and it still works fine, so I don't think that there's really a problem with that. But I think that depending on the length that you had your string, you could have run into some issues. Like for example, like as I'm kind of unrolling this, you can see this one is now shorter and this one is longer, but I mean, it definitely doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like an actual home decoration or anything like that. So I think that's about as good as we're gonna get for the little hanging piece, which is fine. I'm okay with that. You know, we make mistakes, and a lot of times people would choose to exclude that from the video process, but I just leave that stuff in because I'm sure that you guys have been in similar situations, and I don't want to make it seem like I do everything perfect all the time. But yeah, I did mess up the little hanging piece, as you can see, but we're just gonna roll with it anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and add glue onto the banner now, and I'm gonna put this glue everywhere except for where the strings are, and because the glue is everywhere else, it's going to hold the paper in place but still allow the string to move. Alright, and then we're just going to press that down. Be careful because it's going to be pretty hot. Alright, and that's what we have so far. And it's super cute. I love that you can see the pink through it a little bit. And now we're going to go ahead and start decorating. So I have not thought about what I wanted to do yet, but let me really quickly go grab the chipboard from this collection. Alright, I have the chipboard out now, and I looked at some of the pieces in the ephemera, and I don't think that I'm going to use anything from there. I think I'm going to just use the chipboard if I can. So I've also thought about adding trim, but I think that because a lot of these pieces are so large, it would just end up getting covered up. So I'm just going to start with this frame that I think is really cute and go from there. So I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to kind of leave it a little bit loose in case I want to change it. And I love this girl here, and I also really like this bird. Let me go with this. I think that this is big enough. Yes, it is. So this is like the perfect size for this. So cute. I just need to add a little piece of foam tape behind it. So that way it's gonna be the same level as the frame. So that's looking cute. And let me see, I really love this yay. I think we need to add in a little bit of pink to it, so let's pop this out. I love the chipboard for this collection. I think it's so adorable. So that's gonna go on the little bird, which I think is an ostrich. And let's add another little sentiment. I like this that was inside of the frame. It says, "Make a big wish." So I'm thinking that we can find a way to layer it on with that. So we might have to scoot the bird over just a little bit. Maybe let's try something different. So we have yay in the background and we have a yay here. So I don't want to use the yay that's here, even though that's really cute. But the hooray for cake is fun. I also really want to try to find a way to use this little cupcake on here. So maybe we can layer up this little cupcake with this one that says eat cake. I think I want to pop this one up on foam and I want to put the little cupcake there. So let's add some foam to this one. I'm going to add 2 pieces to the back just so that way it is the most dimensional and it really pops and you can see what it says. And what also might be fun is I think that I have a circle punch that I can use to maybe add some gold paper behind it. So let me see if it's big enough. Alright, so I don't think that my little 1-inch circle is, it's about the same size, but I used a 1.5 scallop punch, which I think works perfect. It's not on there even all the way. Fix that. There we go. So that's cute, and I think that that can just kind of sit underneath there, and even though you can't see it that much, I think it does just add a fun pop of glitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. I'm also going to, I think the frame is good, but I am gonna glue down this bird now that we know where we want the bird. And this little yay is also going to have some glue. And glue down the eat cake right underneath the bird and the frame. So that's fun. And I think that I'm also going to use this one. I feel like it needs something at the bottom, so I think it would be perfect to use this little sentiment here that says hooray for cake. Kind of matches everything else that's going on, and it will be layered up on top of the chipboard that's already on the bottom. So I'm just going to add some glue. All right. And that is looking really fun. So now I just want to bring in some more glitter. So I actually have some sequins that I'm going to use. I have some sequins and some pom-poms that I think will be fun. Let me see if I can get some different colors here. I also have a blue one. So I think it'll be fun just to add in some little dimensional type of things besides the chipboard anyways. So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue here and there and add these on. I'm going to put it at the very bottom. Like a tail, like he's got a fluffy tail. And the only bad thing about using a lot of hot glue is all of the strings that follow, but that's okay. We figure it out. And then I have a small pink one, which maybe can go somewhere at the bottom. So we have a lot going on at the top. Maybe on the cupcake. That's cute, like a little cherry. So I'm just gonna add the tiniest little dot there. And pop on the pom-pom. Oh no, I lost it. Now would be a great time for tweezers, but I have been meaning to bring some in the craft room and I just keep forgetting. All right, we made it. So fun. I think I'm gonna add another little pink one right up here with the sequin. just kind of like enamel dots. I do it in the same way. Just kind of put them in pairs of 2 or 3 all around the little project. Alright, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did get like a new backdrop for my videos. I found a piece of glass that actually goes to an entertainment system on the side of the road, and I have been wanting one. So the entertainment system was broken, but we just took the piece of glass off, and then I cleaned it off really good. I put some white wrapping paper underneath it actually, and I feel like it's been working out pretty good so far. It is just a little bit more reflective than I would like, but we will see how it goes. Let me know if you feel like it's less distracting, if it's good, or if you are not liking it. I would love to know, especially since you guys are the ones who watch my videos. So yeah, let me know how you're feeling about the new backdrop. And I think that is all for this banner, you guys. I think it turned out really cute. Lots of chipboard and little pom-poms here and there. Hopefully the recipient will like it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think, if you would have added anything. This is what it looks like up close. You get to see a little bit of the hot glue strings. We're not always perfect. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!